All right, well, good afternoon. I'll be kind of brief and just let you guys go to one-on-ones, but we're here today specifically to talk about, once again, Brown County investing in its community, specifically in our parks. We are looking at a long-term capital improvement plan that we've initiated a number of years ago. So a while back, through the Parks Department, they basically put together a master plan. Had community discussions, talked with staff, talked to campers, talked to the people who utilize this, and realized that it was time for the county to reinvest in this great community asset. One of the things that we did know and we just completed as you guys were there is Eagle's Nest. The amount of people who are using the bay for recreational purposes, whether it's just out enjoying a kayak along the shore or fishing, we know that our boat launches are busy. And so with the Eagle's Nest investment, and now we're taking this asset that's been here for a long time and we're reinvesting in it. And it was very clear to us that when we did some of the improvements with the campsites, when we brought certain power, we've just improved the overall infrastructure for the camping, we realized quickly that while camping is in high demand, you guys saw what we did out at the reforestation camp by adding new campsites there. For the most part, that site is full during the camping season, and we know that the camping here is busy almost year-round when it's open. And so from that standpoint, we know from the recreational camping side, there's things that we can do to enhance that whole experience. And that's what this next phase of what we're going to be investing in will be taken care of. The following year, in our capital improvement plan, we include dollars identified to take care of the second or the third and fourth phase, which is basically improving the boat launch and all the facilities and infrastructure down there to make sure that we have up-to-date services available for the recreational user when it comes to watercraft. This phase, the what's in the budget for 2026 is roughly $2.5 million. And to talk more about those details, Matt, who is our parks director, who works with our team to really kind of identify that strategy and put forth to the oversight committee and ultimately the county board to approve, is going to talk about some of those enhancements that are going to happen here. The main message is in this budget, Brown County is allocating $2.56 million in our capital improvement plan to improve Bayshore Park, and we're hoping that the county board will approve it. Not only this investment for this phase, but ultimately all four phases and complete the master plan as designed and outlined a few years back. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Matt. Matt?
Well, thanks for coming. Parks are arguably an important mandated service, I have to say, as the Parks Director for the county. They ultimately contribute to our quality of life and the community and county growth that we've seen over the years. And I applaud the county executive and county board for making these investments into our parks. These investments not only allow the community assets, but a lot of our county parks are regional aspects. We're seeing people from across the United States, Canada, that camp and that boat with us. So much different than a local municipal park. With all that said, we're able to use these capital projects and reinvest some of that revenue capture, whether it's through camping or boating, to reinvest into our parks, which at the end of the day has a lesser impact on any levy from the county as a whole. So this is one of those capital infrastructure projects that we're looking at that really is going to reshape the entrance of Bayshore Park in this upper portion where we're standing today. After that master plan process, which was heavily involved with community engagement, so that step is complete. We're now ready for the final design, permitting, and construction. And that is what is planned for later this year into next year. We don't expect construction to start till late summer, fall of 2026. But what that will entail is, as you enter the park, there would be a small ranger station. what you might see at more of a state, national level, for mitigating the traffic. Busy weekends in the summer, there's capacity issues at this park, and oftentimes there's conflicts with users when you have that many people here. That ranger station allows us to mitigate that conflict and control and educate people as they come in, such as what campsite am I at? Where do I get to the campground? It's a point of contact for those people. So the intent is to utilize existing LTE seasonal staff to staff that when available. And then in addition to that, the parking lots will be reconfigured to really set us up for the future development down below, such as having a single stall vehicle parking spots and a small restroom where that one exists today across from the ball field. We're looking at even in the master plan, it was identified a small fish cleaning station. All of those things are going to happen right in this corridor here. Now, the price tag of $2.5 million, we look at that and say, wow, you're going to build a Cadillac. No, we're not. Infrastructure costs money. And when you get underground and you have to start working with infrastructure, such as different fiber networks, different storm networks, and all those things, a lot of cost is things that we don't even see. But we're looking forward to this investment into Bayshore Park. The park's been around for over 70 years, and we plan on it being here for another 70 plus years. So now is the time to make this Phase 1 critical infrastructure investment, and then into 27 we're going to start looking at the harbor, which is identified in the county's capital improvement plan, and that's when the harbor would start. That's a 4-phased approach. As far as the harbor goes, we're looking at raising the parking lot, redoing the entire breakwater structure, and instead of having the minimal parking we have down there, that hill is awfully steep. It's over 17% grade for people to walk up, and busy weekends people are walking up it. We're looking at putting a set of stairs with landings and areas where people can rest as they can traverse that hill. And then also with the future infrastructure, we're separating boating from the day use area where the water access area is removed and people don't have to crisscross that boat landing area. So that's really it in a nutshell. Some of the diagrams here. What we're looking at for 2026 is this area focused in red, highlighted in red right here. As you pull into the park, you'll see there's a small ranger station with an island median there. Parking over here. This parking lot right behind us here is connected to that, along with the trails and the beginning phases of that trail system leading down to the harbor area. So we're looking at that area for this year. Some of that will be native plantings, managing stormwater, and the other requirements that we love to see in our parks. So I'll stop there. I guess if there's any one-on-ones, grab Troy. Oh boy, I think Troy's better at these.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna hit you first, Matt. If you're good with it, tell me a little bit about if you read through the master plan, by my rough count, it mentions quality of life half a dozen times in there for Brown County. Tell me how you kind of fit into this idea of retention and attraction of keeping people here. What's kind of your role from the economic side of parks?
Yeah, and I have a very specific example when we're talking on the water. A study that was recently put out estimates that there's 264 million economic impact just by recreational angling on the bay, period. So that is a very, something that we can point to. But when we look at overall quality of life in our community, that's an integral part into all the other departments that the county has. Without the quality of life, why would you want to live here? Period. So that's where we fit in, is getting people outside of their busy, stressful lives, whether that's work, whether that's home, to have a place to come out in nature and relax and unwind and recreate.
From your standpoint, as you look at this, I mean, do you feel like you're involved in that economic development or retention, or do you feel like you're the guy that keeps the parks open and people happy?
In my role, I guess I take a 5,000 foot view on the parks. We have excellent staff that take care of the day-to-day items, and I let them manage that. And from my standpoint, working on the bigger picture, what's next? What's 5 years ahead is where I'm looking at what the parks need to be. And it's not about what we want, it's about what our community wants. That's why when we partake in one of these master plans, there is heavy community engagement. We understand 10 people in the room, 10 people aren't going to see eye to eye. But what's the majority want to see for our community? And that's where we focus.
Troy, you might catch you up there?
Yep.
There, you're off the hook, Matt. Yeah, that should make you happy. So Troy, I mean, when you look at this from an economic standpoint, and a business development side of stuff, how important are parks and everything that you manage, and what does this do in terms of economic development here in Brown County to have a parks department and have projects like this ongoing?
Well, we continue to invest in a lot of our parks, specifically this park, the reforestation camp, the Eagle's Nest, all of that with the idea that that's going to attract discretionary dollars from traveling beyond or away from us, and keeping those dollars or attracting those dollars here into Brown County. That benefits the whole economy of Brown County and arguably Northeast Wisconsin. So these type of investments are critical for when you think about just the overall economy. Now, they generate revenue. To camp here, it's not free. And so a lot of the dollars that the parks generate, we love to believe that we're putting those back in. So, while we have people who are coming from out of town to camp, and sometimes we have people who live right in Brown County and want to enjoy the outdoors but not drive too far, and they can escape right here in Brown County. But we take those dollars and then we reinvest them back into the parks themselves. So, whether you're walking a trail, enjoying the sheer nature of this, or if you go over to Pamperin Park, we just invested and rehabilitated the drawbridge, and you go and walk the trails there. These are all critical components that make a community a place where people want to live, work, and play. They have that outdoor recreation. We know that getting outside, getting your vitamin D, relaxing, turning off the phones, those are all really important things for our community's, just overall health. And so while we work with the parks to help generate some of those dollars to maintain a level of revenues coming in to help support it, they are supported through our general levy. But overall, we like to see our parks, because they are regional parks. Keep in mind, our park system is not what you would see normally within a municipality, where it's really made for that neighborhood of that municipality. Our parks are really designed to be regional, if not, statewide destination locations. And so we want that to be the case. We don't want to duplicate a park that's 2 miles down the road and serves the same neighborhood. What we want to do is to provide a better vehicle for recreational advocates. So Parks does a great job. This one in itself, it's busy, and the numbers prove it. And so this is now finally a time where Brown County is investing in it. 15 years ago, the conversation was a lot different. It was hard to get the county to recognize what truly an asset this park is. And here we are now. We're about to invest over a course of a number of years, right around $8 million, just shy of $8 million into this park. So we're excited about the opportunity. We're excited about the revenue generation that's going to do. We're excited about the people that will be attracted. And keep in mind the reports on our fishery that generates $250 million of economic activity. I'd rather have that happening in Brown County, where they're launching and buying gas and getting their bait and staying in hotels if they're not able to stay at the campsite here. I'd rather have that happen right here in Brown County versus maybe, no offense, O'Connell, but I don't want it happening up there, although it's okay if it happens up there too. Needless to say, point is, we want to build that infrastructure. We want to have it available for our own community to enjoy, and so I think it's a win-win-win.
Trey, when does the county board take up the budget?
October 29th.
Thank you.
Yep, 9 a.m. or 9:30 a.m. Hopefully it doesn't go past 2 o'clock in the morning.
That happened to me once.
Yeah.
Ask me that story later.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.